Yo fam, what's good and welcome to another YouTube video. I had a random inspiration for this one today. I normally plan out my YouTube videos and kind of get everything preset and write all my notes down and everything like that, but today I just kind of got this inspiration regarding a question that somebody actually asked me on stream yesterday. It said, Sally, where's your gaming background? Like, what is it regarding gaming that's always kept you interested in it? Where is it like you kind of come from? So I thought, you know what, let's create a YouTube video and let's talk a little bit more about that. Today, we're going to be talking about gaming. We're going to be talking about where it all started for me. I've been gaming, ever since, I don't know, the age of probably 4 years old. Started off with the classic, the PlayStation 1, the Game Boy Color. Anything that was coming out at that time, I used to go around my neighbor's house, play on the Sega. I used to play like really old school games. Always had a special interaction, a special interest in FPS games. There's something about the competitiveness that always brought it out in me. For anyone who doesn't know, I tried to get involved into esports and professional gaming at around the age of 16 or so, back in the days when Halo 3 and COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2, around that era, the best era, by the way, the best gaming era is what I call it. And my past was around competitive gaming, and I used to want to be a pro player back in the day. Obviously, school came around, university came around, I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to get into pro gaming. It just took way too much time. I had to think about my future, and I had to think about solidifying a degree, solidifying school, and making sure that I got all my grades and everything else as well. I have a few games beside me right now, which I class as some real OG games that I love. So let's talk about the Age of Empires. Alright, Age of Empires, absolutely amazing, series of games. This is the original, the gold edition, which came out, I believe, in 1995 or 7 or something. Still play it today. Amazing series. The Dynasty Warriors series as well. This is number 4. This is hype. This is probably my favorite in the entire series as well. I can't get it to work on Windows 10, which sucks, and I'm trying to make that happen, but it's not going too well right now. Diablo 2, which for anybody who knows about this bad boy, this is one of the best, as you can see, the top bestseller series, one of the most selling games on the planet. Played endless hours of that on PC, and as well as that, I was always into my RTS games back in the day. I used to love a bit of Command & Conquer, the original ones, by the way. Anything after General 0 Hour, kind of lost my interest and it became more too futuristic, let's say. So in terms of gaming backgrounds, even though I loved my FPSs, I liked my hack and slashes, I liked RTS games, I liked strategy games. I've always just been a big gamer. And no matter what it is that I was doing with my life and my career, gaming is always something that I've done across it. People have often also asked me if I had to pick a top 5, what my top 5 games ever would have been. This is probably going to have to be the order. So we've shown you the case already for this one. At number 5 would come in at Dynasty Warriors 4. Right, this game and this franchise, even though it was very basic in terms of hack and slash, the lore behind it, the story behind it was absolutely amazing. I pretty much knew the whole history behind the Dynasty Warriors series. It just kept me super interested, and I just loved the whole theme behind it. I loved the whole warriors and loyalty, and just watching how history played out. I was very, very fascinated about history, so that was always great. Next one after that, even though I don't have a game case for it, it does go for the Age of Empires series, but it would have to be Age of Empires 2, and they've recently released the definitive edition, which is what my current obsession is, and I'm playing it like every single night right now. I'm having so much fun with it. They've got Ultra HD graphics. It's amazing. I just love conquering people's bases, flipping cannons and chucking shit at people's bases, all that kind of stuff. There's no better feeling than just playing that for hours on end and just losing track of time as well. Top 3, it would have to be the ones that I've named already. That would be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That comes in at 3rd place. Absolutely fantastic game. Call of Duty has been a franchise that I've been an absolute fanboy of ever since the days of COD 3 and starting with multiplayer at COD 4. So Modern Warfare 2 has to be at number 3. My second favorite franchise in the world has got to be Halo, and the game that really sold it for me was the back end of Halo 2 a little bit, but Halo 3 mostly. That's when I first got my Xbox 360. Halo 3 is where I really started on multiplayer and playing competitively, and that game was super competitive, really balanced, had a great rank system, loads of different matchmaking systems. Just the game music behind it for the intro was absolutely insane. And honestly, just the noise of that, the whole nostalgia of it, just the skill that went behind Halo 3 and watching the pros used to compete at MLG, it must have been the best feeling ever. 2010, the MLG Columbus and all them, but the whole pro circuit was one of the most fun I've ever had watching esports. That was so competitive. And that's back in the day when esports used to be 100 people in and around a little stage with the 4 computers right next to 4 computers, and they were playing on their consoles, whatever they were playing on. And then in at number 1 has to come my favorite game of all time, which is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the peak of gaming for me. that right there, that game, man, I can't even tell you guys how many hours I put into that. That for me was where multiplayer all began. That for me is where I really enjoyed playing with friends and just enjoyed kicking it back and just getting like really competitive. We used to run game battles on that. For anyone who doesn't know what game battles is, it's like competitive esports, you know, like a stage off what the pros would play just to kind of get in there and get your name known and whatnot. Just generally leveling up on it, having fun. I loved the 3, 5, 7 kill streaks. It didn't feel like it was too overbalanced, you know, compared to how things are these days. All these kill streaks and nukes, there was none of that. It was just UAVs, it was airstrikes, it was helicopters, and that was it, you know. And they were easy to take out, easy to take down, mostly about gun skill, positioning, and teamwork, which really came above it. So that's probably going to be my top 5. And that is the video based on where my kind of gaming history's come from. So not only am I an FPS player, I've always had a very big interest in stuff like RTS, love RPGs. Skyrim, by the way, gets a special mention in this. Skyrim is going to be the best story game that I've ever played. I owned it on 4 consoles. I played it on Xbox, I played it on PC, I have it on the Switch, and I used to have it for PlayStation as well. So Skyrim is a big mention in this one, huge place in my heart. Love that game, so much fun. And it's just one of them games where you can just diverge, and rather than even focus on the main story, you can just go around and just mess about, and next thing you know, you're being attacked by a wild bear in the middle of, you know, the Ice Age or something. I loved it so much, man. So that's a little bit about my gaming history. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about me today. I've had quite a lot of people ask me, actually, where did it all start for me in terms of gaming? You know, how long have I been gaming? You know, in the short summary, my whole life, and loads of different genres, and now focusing mainly on FPS with a little bit of RTS on the side. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Take care, and I'll be back next week with another YouTube video.